So I have a little bit of a confession to make, and I was wondering whether I should talk about this, but I think that, these days we need to be able to talk about this stuff because it helps everybody to move forward. So this week I broke one of my own rules. Like, I went against one of my values, that is what I built my whole business on, and that was that I compromised on me time. I didn't go to the gym, I didn't exercise all week since last weekend, and my husband hit me up about it, and he was like, are you going to go for a run, or what's going on? Like, you haven't done anything all week. And I thought, hey, I better kind of tell him what's going on, and it's not just me being lazy or me going, deciding I'm not going to, I'll do it later or whatever. I sat down, I said to him, I actually made this a really conscious decision at the start of the week, that not that I wasn't going to do any exercise. I thought, well, if I can, I'll fit it in. But I changed my priorities for the week, and for a really good reason. I was running a live training that went for 3 days, and I actually did a 4th day in the end on the Friday, bit of a surprise extra. And I knew that with live trainings, I've done so many different events and lives and trainings before in my life. I knew that if I wasn't giving myself that extra time, the contingency time, and just the space to not be trying to achieve all of the things that week, I knew that if I didn't give myself that extra time, that I would end up completely overstressed, frazzled. I would be, not a very pleasant mum to be around, and things just wouldn't be all that great. So at the start of last weekend, I was like, right, for the this week coming, I'm not going to give myself these objectives to, I guess, be the super mum, like to be going to the gym pretty much every day like I normally do. I'm not going to take the kids to some of their sometimes activities that we do after school. I'm actually going to give me the priority in my business, because I know that I need to make this happen. It's a really important week, and if I'm not doing that, it's going to be way, way, way more stressful for me. So it was, yes, it was about my business, but it was also about my ability to cope with the unexpected. And as always, the unexpected happened. My laptop stopped working the night before the very first live training session. So I was, not freaking out, but like, oh my God, how am I going to make this happen? I don't have time to get it fixed. I don't have time to go and buy a new computer or whatever. I've got to roll with it. But, because I had that space, I was able to figure out how to make my computer work and to make it happen. And then, a day later, I had a couple of broken sleeps, my kids waking me up, and then my daughter finds a live frog in the lounge, 5:20 in the morning, comes into the bedroom and is like, Mom, you've got to get up, there's something you've got to come and look at. And I'm like, oh, what is it? It's 5:20 in the morning, go back to bed, I need to sleep, I need to be on form today. And she was like, no, you have to come, you've got to come and have a look. And there was a frog. It was asleep, but it was very much alive, and it was just sitting in the lounge room floor. Don't ask me how it got there or why or what. I have no idea, but that's what I was dealing with, well before 6 a.m., how to get a frog out of the lounge. That was a great start to the day, but, again, I just was like, I'm not going to make myself live up to my normal high ideals and be trying to fit a gym session in before I take the kids to school, or to quickly fit one in after I drop them off and get back home. Normally I'm timing things down to the minute, but I really wanted to be fully present, to be there, to be feeling refreshed, and to have heaps of energy to deliver these live sessions. And, with each one, I planned for them to go for about 45 minutes. They went for more like an hour and a half, because there was so much cool interaction and engagement, and I was answering loads of questions. But it just meant that I wasn't stressed about doing that. And yeah, I asked my husband to step in and step up for me for the week. He did quite a few drop-offs and picked the kids up, and took my son to a swimming lesson, which was awesome, and I really, really appreciated that extra help. But it does go against what I teach and what I preach, and everything that I say about being in business is that it's all about having a business that works in with your life, and that you fit in all the stuff that is important to you. And for me, exercising is super important, looking after myself. Sleeping is really important. I do not work late nights because I really, really value my sleep and how that is good for my health. And normally that is exactly what happens. You know, I take my kids to their swimming lessons, I take them to soccer, I do all of that stuff as well as running the business, and it works really, really well. And that's exactly what I designed it for. This week, it didn't happen that way, but I chose to not go to the gym, and I chose to ask my hubby to step in and to be there doing some of that stuff with the kids that I'm normally doing. He does do it as well, but you know, let's be honest, I'm doing most of it. But it was 1 week and I got it done and I did the training and it was really good. It was completed. And then yesterday, Saturday, I'm back at the gym. I went and did my HIIT session, you know, this morning. It's Sunday and I was at the beach for my son's nippers, which goes for a couple of hours, and, you know, hanging out with the kids and having a swim with them at the beach. It was just awesome. And this is, I guess, for me, you know, the beauty in this and the lesson is that, you know, I've got this business that I've designed in a certain way and that is how it works, but I can choose to shift my priorities when I need to and have that different priority for the week because I had a really strong objective to get that done. And then I can switch it back to normal business as usual and continue without feeling the guilt, you know, without feeling unsatisfied and unhappy and like this isn't successful, because 99% of the time my life is exactly how I designed it to be with this business. And for it to be different this week, I was okay with that. It's kind of like when you get injured and you're like, oh crap, I can't go to the gym. I'm okay with that. I'm injured, like I need to rest. It was a bit like that, you know, and I didn't feel any real remorse. And yesterday back at the gym, you know, it was as if I'd never been away from it. So I guess I just wanted to share that with you, like that little confession that, you know, even though we might talk about this stuff and our ideals and it's often perfect life, it's okay for it to be different at times. It's okay for you to choose something different to what you normally say. And as long as you know how to get it back on track and how to have that balance, then I think that that's a really healthy way to run your business and your life, because you are the boss, you are the CEO. So, you know, you're able to make those choices and to say, well, this week there's a different priority there, and that's okay. It's all about getting that balance. And for me, balance doesn't mean everything is equal. It means that you've got the right proportion of what you want in your life. So, you know, how much time do you want to have for exercise? How much time do you want to have for kids, for family, for friends and socializing? How much time do you want to spend working? And for every person, that's so different. And that's why, you know, when we start Business Jam, in the starting off module 0, it doesn't even count in the program, but I have a module 0 because I'm like, I want to get you in the right headspace before we even begin. So I asked all these difficult questions about, you know, what do you really want your week to look like? How many hours do you want to be spending working? And let's figure that out. Let's figure out what your ideal balance is in your life. And then when we look at how much time you've got available to work and the revenue goals you've got, are the services that you're currently selling going to get you there? Or do we need to change something up in your strategy of even what you're selling and how you're selling it? You know, if it's trading time for money and you've only got a certain amount of hours in the day, you can either raise your prices, or we can look at a different way of being able to create packages and service those people so that it's not just based on, you know, you want more revenue in the business, you've got to put more hours in, because, you know, that's not why we're doing this in the first place, is it? We're not doing this business so that we can work and work and work and work and work. We're doing it so we could have the freedom in our life that we didn't have in our jobs or wherever, you know, whatever that place was where we were before. You know, when you're not the boss, you're not in charge of the whole business, you probably didn't have that freedom and flexibility to be choosing how much you work, when you work, where you work. And that's the beauty of being in business. So I'm like, that is where we have to start before we even start with the rest of your marketing strategy, is let's figure out what does that ideal business life balance look like for you. So that then when we look at your service packaging and your business structure, how you layer it, you know, what it is that you're offering, we can make that actually fit and deliver on your idea of your business life balance. That's the only way to get that outcome that you really like. Otherwise, you're still going to feel like you're an employee of your own business and that you're working hard to for something and you're probably not getting what you really wanted out of it. So that's certainly not what we're there for at all. And it's, that is why it's so important to start there and design your service packages with that in mind, so that we can look at that as part of your pricing strategy, delivers for you the business that will suit the hours and the time that you have available, and be able to earn you the revenue that you want to. So that was a bit of a long-winded story. I've been on a full tangent around there, but the confession was, this week I didn't do my normal business life balance. I totally changed the mix. I had a really good reason for it, and it was for staying low stress, a bit of stress-free time, because things always happen. With live events, you just never know what is going to happen, and if I didn't allow that extra time, everything could have turned out totally differently. So I did make that as a conscious choice to not have the me time that I normally have, but to know that it was just a short period of a week that I would be compromising on it. And then as of yesterday and today, I'm back to the normal routine, and wow, it feels so good. I've just had a wonderful weekend where I've done very, very minimal, like literally an hour of work on my business. Even though I'm in the middle of a launch, I'm feeling very cool, calm, collected, and I think I'm grateful for myself for making that compromise, going against my normal business life balance, and not trying to overachieve and to do all of the things all at once on one of the weeks I knew would be the most important in the whole year. So yeah, it's okay to do that. I want to give you permission to make those choices at times as well. But, if you're in a place where you're feeling like you don't have the control over your life, you're not able to just choose whether you, spend less time or spend more time. And if you do make that choice that it impacts negatively, then, I really want you to think about, have you designed your business to give you the life that you want? Have you designed it to suit the lifestyle that you want to be able to live? And so that you do have choice. You do have that control and that freedom to make the choice that you need. Because if you haven't done that and you want some help doing it, and like I said, it's the first thing that we get into in Business Jam before you even get into the rest of your marketing strategy. It's like right up there in module 0. And then from there, we align everything to give you, that outcome of the business that does support your life and doesn't overtake it. And I think that's definitely why I'm still here. I'm 4 years into this business. I could have gone back to the corporate job at any time. I have very, very well paying, high level corporate job in marketing, that I built up over 20 years working in marketing. So I had a career there that I've chosen to do this. And the reasons I've chosen it is for the business life balance, and being able to achieve that is certainly, that's what it's all about. This isn't just about finding something or a way to make money. It's not about making money. It's actually about creating the life that you want. And money is part of it. That's, obviously what you're earning. Business needs to be profitable. And I'm all about, lean business, cash flow first, invest in smart things, invest in the right things. And a lot of what I invest in is technology. And the other part of what I invest in is me, and is in, people who can give me the other perspective or the advice that I need, so that I can take leaps forward instead of little steps, and that's certainly what's helped me get to where I am today. So anyway, that was a nice story for a Sunday. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you being here, and hope you're having a wonderful day as well. My kids have just gone to Bunnings with hubby, so I had a quiet house for a minute, and I thought it's a good time to get on a live and just share a story. So I did. And I will see you during the week, no doubt. Have a good one.